Good evening, thank you for joining us. I am Super Progressi and this is your ICU TV Main news bulletin. Let's take a quick look at the stories making headlines. Zambia Correctional Service clarifies allegations against Mr. MUNIR ZULU. Zambia and China partner to restore smiles as Smiles Journey program launches. EU-LOBITO Corridor Business Forum sets milestone in regional connectivity and trade. Nicki Minaj defends Trump's claims of Christian persecution in Nigeria. And in sports news, CHIPOLOPOLO aiming high, Zambia national team vows to make a mark at AFCON despite friendly losses. And now the details. The Zambia Correctional Service has dismissed as false and misleading social media claims that inmate MUNIR ZULU was poisoned with an apple while in custody. ZCS confirmed that no such incident took place and that routine medical checks show no signs of poisoning or harm. On 16 November 2025, Mr. MUNIR ZULU reported to the clinic after choking on an apple that briefly obstructed his airway. Medical personnel attended to him immediately and he was relieved shortly after. The fruit had been brought by his family and at some point did he suggest it was suspicious or provided by an officer or inmate. ZCS has temporarily restricted fruit deliveries for Mr. MUNIR ZULU and requested that he and his family designated two authorized individuals to bring food to prevent future misunderstandings. The service emphasized that all meals and authorized food items are strictly supervised and no procedural breach occurred and no inmate required emergency treatment. ZCS urges the public and media to rely on official communication and avoid spreading unverified information. Zambia today has launched Smile Journey program, a humanitarian medical initiative aimed at providing free cleft lip and craniophonical surgeries to children in need. The launch marks a significant step in strengthening specialized healthcare through international cooperation. Speaking at the event, Minister of Health Dr. Elijah Mjima reaffirmed government's commitment to advancing quality healthcare by partnering with countries such as China. He emphasized that the program reflects Zambia's dedication to ensure that every child has access to life-changing medical interventions.
It's the smile we're talking about. This smile is for Zambia, isn't it? Kaputa is Zambia, isn't it? Shangongo, Miombe, yes. Your Excellency, Zambia is not Lusaka alone. Zambia is Miombe. Zambia is Shangongo. Zambia is Kaputa. This smile should be extended to the people. How to extend it? In your speech, I've talked about technology. And I talk about telemedicine. Recently, when I was in China, I was talking to a professor who I didn't see face to face. That's what the smile is about. If, as you are coming, you can put a smile to a person in Kaputa as well, or else you are in Lusaka. It will be a smile to Zambia. Shangongo, to be a smile to Zambia. We are saying Zambia is vast. Zambia's population is all over. This smile journey is a smile for everyone. We welcome it. We need all the technology. that is in China be extended to Zambia. In any case, there are a lot of nationals of Chinese nature in Zambia. We need to have access similar facilities in terms of training programs together, and political will. As you are saying, 60 years from the time Zambia was independent, Chairman Mao, President Kaunda.
The ceremony was also attended by Chinese Ambassador to Zambia, His Excellency Han Jing, whose government continues to contribute medical expertise and technological support to Zambia's health sector. In Lusaka today, Zambia took a strong step towards digital inclusion with the launch of the 2025 Infratel Girls in Tech Bootcamp. Targeting grade 11s and grade 12 girls, the program aims to break gender stereotypes in technology and provides platforms for young girls to apply innovative solutions to real-world challenges. Minister of Technology and Science, Honorable Felix Chipotamtati, MP, officiated the event, urging girls to focus on their intellect and potential. He highlighted success stories of girls winning robotics and innovation competitions, emphasizing that skill and creativity rather than gender should define opportunity. Infratel CEO Dr. Ivan Silawe noted that existing gender gap in ICT with women making up only 30% of tech jobs. He said the bootcamp and the new innovation hub at the University of Zambia would provide training, mentorship, and resources to ensure girls have continued support in education and technology. The program also offers opportunities for girls to compete internationally, strengthening Zambia's digital future. Backed by the government's Smart Zambia agenda, the bootcamp aims to develop a new generation of women leaders, engineers, and innovators, showing that girls are driving Zambia's digital transformation. The EU-LOBITO Corridor Business Forum has marked a significant step in promoting regional connectivity, trade, and industrialization in Zambia and neighboring countries. Information and Media Director spokesperson Mr. Henry Kapata highlights that the forum provided a platform for discussions on strengthening economic partnership, facilitating investment, and boosting infrastructure development along with Lobito Corridor.
Let's talk about the European Union Lobito Corridor Business Forum, a milestone event, I must say. Now, the European Union Lobito Corridor Business Forum, held from the 12th to the 14th of November 2025, right here in Lusaka, Zambia, was a resounding success. The three-day event brought together over 700 participants from Europe, Zambia, and neighboring countries to advance regional connectivity, trade, and industrialization. Here are the highlights of the event. First of all, 10 new funding agreements worth over 5.2 billion kwacha signed in the presence of President Hakainde Hichilema and Commissioner for International Partnerships, Joseph Sikela. Okay? And then we have the agreement that demonstrates the global gateway approach, investments connecting infrastructure with people, job creation, job training, and sustainable industries. Funding agreements. Number one, Railway Sector Support Program, 1.3 billion kwacha to rehabilitate and modernize Zambia Railways infrastructure. Nexus Energy Water Program, 522 million kwacha to improve water management and renewable energy right there in Northwestern Province. Budget support for education reforms, 1 billion kwacha to modernize Zambia's education system. Enterprise, Zambia, 940 million kwacha to support smallholder farmers and job creation. Artisanal mining program, 256 million kwacha for training and formalization of artisanal miners. Green Tech, 4CE, 42 million kwacha for green secular and digital SMEs. European Investment Bank of Zambia, Zambia National Industrial Commercial Bank financing agreement. We're talking about 708.
The Ministry of Health, with support from Site Savers, has launched a mass drug administration campaign to fight trachoma in 4 high-burden districts of Western Province. The week-long exercise, running from 17th to 21st November 2025, targets Shangombo, Siaoma, Kalawo, and Sikongo, where the trachoma cases remain a public health concern. The campaign is part of government efforts towards achieving trachoma and elimination ahead of the World Health Organization's 2030 deadline. This is the second round of drug administration this year, following a successful exercise in June that reached over 100% of the target population with the support of Site Savers. A snap check by the Ministry of Health media team in Sikongo district found that most health facilities had recorded strong stats. At Tua Rural Health Center, health staff and community volunteers administered drugs to 83 out of 117 people on day 1. While at Luahumba Rural Health Center, teams covered up to 98% of the targeted population. In Milango community members, including elderly residents, have welcomed the intervention and urged others to participate. The Ministry of Health says the campaign, which covers all age groups, is a key part of the SAFE strategy focused on surgery, antibiotics, and facial cleanliness, and environmental improvements designed to eliminate trachoma and other neglected tropical diseases. Health officials expect to reach full coverage by the end of the exercise. We take a short break. Stay tuned for more news after this.
Welcome to the Zambia Research and Development Center, an institution dedicated to national development through capacity building and community development. Established in 2007 by a group of professionals and lecturers, ZRDC has since become a hub of research and innovation in the country. Registered with the Ministry of Home Affairs under the Registrar of Societies, ZRDC pursues cutting-edge research to address pressing social and economic challenges. Get involved. ZRDC engages in activities that stimulate international collaboration, promote knowledge sharing, and make research expertise available to decision makers. Our mission at ZRDC is to foster innovation and capacity building for national development. We believe in addressing poverty and underdevelopment through institutional and capacity building, human empowerment, and gender participation. In our quest to foster innovation and capacity building for national development, ZRDC launched the ZRDC University Sponsorship for Capacity Building and Development Program to facilitate knowledge advancement among ZRDC researchers and those intending to join the research community. Qualified Zambian citizens can pursue education at credible universities in Zambia with guaranteed prospects of joining the ZRDC research community. ZRDC engages in industrial and technological research, covering research development and innovative investigations to drive dynamic industrial development at national and regional levels. Join us at the Zambia Research and Development Center as we continue to innovate, empower, and shape a brighter future for Zambia. ZRDC, fostering innovation and capacity.
Welcome back. Now in our local stories, students at the Information and Communications University are preparing to sit for their end-of-year exams scheduled to commence on November 24th. The university registrar Dr. Saikorax Ndlovu has stressed the importance of early preparation, urging students to plan their study time effectively and review course materials thoroughly to ensure strong performance. Precious Banda has more details in the following report.
The Information and Communications University students are gearing up for the end-of-year exams scheduled to begin on November 24, 2025. In a statement, the registrar, Dr. Saikorax Ndlovu, emphasized the importance of preparation, drawing from his experience teaching business communication skills. Dr. Ndlovu stressed that a good student should have a personal timetable and treat it as their commander-in-chief, following it without fail. Dr. Ndrovu added that a good student is always ready for tests, assignment, and exams as they are always ahead of the university academic calendar.
As the university students, when they come in semester 1, I take part in facilitating in business communication skills. I always emphasize that a good student from semester 1 should have a personal study timetable. And I emphasize that a good student would treat a personal study timetable as his or her commander-in-chief. Meaning that when a study timetable says at such a time you should be studying such a course, then you have no option but to start studying that course at that time. And from that background, I emphasize that a good student is always ready for the test, for the assignment, and for the examination because he or she is always ahead of the university academic calendar.
Mutemulenga, a fourth-year student pursuing a bachelor's of degree in information and communication technology in software engineering, said a student can never be 100% ready, but should try to be as prepared as possible.
When it comes to the examinations, I believe, you can never be 100% ready as a student. The only thing we can do is, try to be as prepared as possible as we, head towards the exam, try to cover as much or know as much as we can before the date of.
The Information and Communications University is encouraging students to prepare for exams. They are encouraged to take the heat of the registrar's words and ensure they are well prepared for the challenges ahead. Precious Banda reporting for ICU TV News in Lusaka.
The state has agreed to pay 5 million kwacha in compensation to a 13-year-old girl whose right leg was amputated after she was struck by a Zambia National Service ZNS truck in Lusaka's Makeni area. This follows a consent judgment entered in the High Court. The accident occurred on 2nd February 2025 when the girl was hit by a ZNS vehicle driven by Warrant Officer Chipemba Kasweshi as she attempted to cross the road near school. The impact of the collision led to amputation of her right leg, leaving her with life-altering injuries. Attorney General Mulilo Kabesha confirmed that the compensation covers medical costs, emotional trauma, long-term rehabilitation, and additional losses the family may face. The settlement resolves a 5 million kwacha claim filed by the girl's father, Thomas Siwila, who sued the state on her behalf. The agreement marks the state's acceptance of liability and ensures that the minor will receive financial support to aid her recovery and future well-being. We take another break. Stay tuned for sports and international news.
The Information and Communications University is driving the thrill for the nation in research and development. Enroll now for full-time and distance programs in the School of Engineering, Humanities, Business and Education. To apply, visit our website at www.icuzambia.net or call us on +260 211 221 662 or 0966 342 359. Sponsorship is available. Enroll now.
In international news, award-winning rapper Nicki Minaj has stepped into a geopolitical debate, publicly supporting U.S. President Donald Trump's claims that Christians are being persecuted in Nigeria. Her comments have sparked controversy with analysts stressing that violence in this country has affected people of many different backgrounds. Speaking at a US-hosted event on Tuesday, Minaj said Christians in Nigeria were being targeted, adding that churches had been burned and families torn apart simply because of how they pray. Her remarks echo President Trump's long-standing position on religious persecution in parts of the West African nation. But security analysts paint a more complex picture. They argue that while extremist groups have targeted Christian communities, the broader wave of violence driven by jihadist insurgents, bandits, and armed militias have impacted Nigerians from all religious and ethnic groups. This week alone, 2 people were killed in an attack in a church in Kwara State. In a separate incident, 25 school of girls who the BBC have confirmed were Muslim were abducted, and underscoring the indiscrimination nature of the country's security crisis. Nigerian authorities have yet to formally respond to Minaj's remarks. Meanwhile, human rights groups continue to call for a unified approach to address the widespread insecurity facing all communities. We are still in international news. Amnesty International has released a new report alleging that Kenyan authorities paid a network of online trolls to threaten and intimidate young people who took part in recent anti-government demonstrations. The organization says the coordinated harassment targeted Gen Z activities who were instrumental in organizing the 2024 and 2025 national protests. According to Amnesty, several government agencies allegedly operated behind the scenes using surveillance, digital intimidation, and disinformation campaigns to silence protest organizers. The report notes that activists who mobilized crowds on platforms like X, TikTok, and Instagram were specifically signed out and subjected to threats, smear campaigns, and online abuse. The human rights organization added that the demonstrations, driven largely by Kenya's South youth, reflected growing frustration over governance, economic conditions, and state accountability. Amnesty says the alleged digital repression is deeply concerning and undermines the right to free expression and peaceful assembly. Responding to the allegations, Kenya's Interior Minister insisted that the government does not sanction harassment or violence against any citizen. He says the administration remains committed to protecting civil liberties even as authorities continue to maintain law and order during public demonstrations. Now in sports news, the Zambia national team assistant, Coach Perry Mopata, who took charge of the team during their two friendly games against South Africa and Angola in place of Moses Sichon, was hospitalized due to suspected food poisoning, insists the Chipolopolo will not be going to the Africa Cup of Nations AFCON simply to participate but to make a mark despite two tough friendly defeats in the lead-up. On Tuesday evening, Zambia went down 3-2 to Angola, with former Swedish international striker Jack Kaliche scoring his first goal for the national team and Fashion Sakala adding the other. The result came just 2 days after a loss to South Africa, as it was. That sports item brings us to the end of our main news. But before we go, let's take a quick look at the stories that made headlines. Zambia Correctional Service clarifies allegations against Mr. MUNIR ZULU. Zambia and China partner to restore smiles as Smile Journey program launches. EU-LOBITO Corridor Business Forum sets milestone in regional connectivity and trade. In international news, Nicki Minaj defends Trump's claims of Christian persecution in Nigeria. And in sports, Chipolopolo aiming high, Zambia national team vows to make a mark at AFCON despite friendly losses. Thank you so much for staying with us. For more news information, you can visit our website www.icutvzm.com or our Facebook page ICU TV ZM or ICU TV News. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.